Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. If you've not seen me before, my name is Abby the Mindset Fairy and I'm here to help you turn your dreams into a reality. If you have seen me before, then welcome back. So today I want to talk about bad moods and negative mindset. So how they're linked, does one necessarily mean the other, and what we can do about it. So this is something that I get asked quite a lot by the people that I work with, who I'm coaching. I get asked, if I'm having a positive mindset, does that mean that I have to be positive 100% of the time? And if I'm not feeling very positive, if I'm having a bad day and having a bad mood, does that mean that I'm now in a negative mindset? And I was having a good think about it because I was like, do you know what? That's actually a really valid question. Because we have this assumption that to have a positive mindset, you have to be positive all the time. Do you know how exhausting it is to be positive 100% of the time? Don't think I've ever managed to go an entire day without a single negative thought. No, I can't. I literally cannot think of even on the days that I would look back and say, those are one of the best days of my life. There was still points within that wasn't positive. There were parts of it that did put me in a bad mood. There were parts of it where I was like, that could have gone better. But that doesn't mean that I have a negative mindset, and that doesn't mean that I'm not a positive person, because there are things throughout every single day that make our emotions go up and down. And so I really wanted to kind of clarify this, because we have that perception that if we're trying to be positive, that we have to be positive. But our moods and our mindsets, whereas they are linked, aren't the be all and end all of it either. So if you think about when you have a negative mindset, so you have that mindset that things aren't going to work out, that you're not going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, when you start to place obstacles in your path, when you look at everything that's happened within your day from a negative spin, that's what we call a negative mindset. Being in a bad mood will cause you to feel like things aren't going your way, that things aren't going to work out. A bad mood will cause you to be stressed, will impact your health, your eating, your sleep, and also those around you. So they do kind of go hand in hand. But you can have a positive mindset, a positive outlook on life, know that you're working towards your goals, know that everything is going to work out the way that it's meant to work out, know that the efforts that you're putting in are making a difference, even if it doesn't feel like it, and still have a bad day. I had an awful day the other day, and I was in one of those moods. So all the way throughout the day, every single thing that happened to me on that day was just like the worst thing ever. Now, I am someone who does have a positive mindset. I do have a growth mindset. I work actively towards my goals every single day. So I am in that positive frame of mind. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a bad day. And that doesn't mean that if I do have a day like I did the other day, that means that my negative mindset has come back. Because I did used to have a negative mindset, and these videos are all about how I have learned to have that positive mentality. So the difference being really comes down to how long it lasts. So if you are having a bad day and everything is going wrong, and you just are just having one of those days where you're just like, I am not playing today, this is just not happening anymore, then that is fine. And it's important that in this journey to becoming a more positive person, to working toward your goals, working toward your dreams, believing in yourself, which is so integral to this whole process, it's important to recognize when you are having a bad day, when you are in a bad mood, when things do become too much, when it all just kind of sits on you. And it's really important not to hide from that feeling, because when we're trying to adapt a positive mindset, we can squash down those feelings, thinking that's not relevant to what I'm trying to do now, that's not helpful to me or to my goals. And it isn't helpful towards your goals, but it is relevant. And one of the things that I really struggled to learn was the fact that we need to feel all of our emotions. And I'm a classic person of bottling everything up. I, all the way through growing up, would bottle every emotion that I didn't feel that I could share. And what that creates is a negative mindset. So we think that by holding back on that bad mood, by pushing it down, by pushing down those negative feelings, we think that we're doing the right thing to maintain more positive, but instead actually it just builds up and it starts to eat away at you. So one of the things that I've really struggled to learn how to do is to sit in my emotions and feel them as they're happening and then let them go. Because when we sort of push it down and we like push it to one side and go, that's not helpful for me at the moment, and it might not be helpful for you at the moment, but you have to still address that, because that will then create a negative mindset if you don't. So we have to kind of spend some time actually in that feeling. And it is hard and it's awful and you feel like rubbish constantly. But sitting in that emotion, feeling it, experiencing it, recognizing why you're feeling that way, recognizing why everything is feeling overwhelming, which is usually, feeling overwhelmed is usually the trigger. It certainly is for me when I feel that I have too much on my plate. That's when I start to shift into a bad mood. And recognizing that the triggers as to what's put you in that mood. Is it your hormones? Is it your family situation? Are you going through a tough legal battle at the moment? Are you overworking yourself at the gym? Are you not fueling your body in the way that you should be? Are you not drinking enough water? There's so many different things that can trigger a negative emotion within ourselves. And when you spend the time to actually sit in that emotion and actually just feel it and actually think, okay, so why am I feeling like this? And recognize what those triggers are, you can then work to prevent that happening in the future. Or if you can't prevent it because it's a situation external to you, you can at least learn how to deal with it in a more positive way. But you're never going to be able to do that if you push it down with the idea that I cannot be in a positive mindset if I'm feeling negative, when you can. And we kind of need to shift our thinking a little bit on that, because when I started to work on my mindset, starting to work on this whole process of growth and of healing from everything that I've been through, recognizing my emotions, validating myself, I felt that anything that was negative was going to be pushing me backwards. And by doing that, I was actually pushing myself backwards. So you do really need to recognize that there is a difference, and it is really difficult to work out what is your mood of the moment and what is actually your general mindset. And the only way that you're going to do that is through just sitting with it and experiencing it. And we need to be kinder to ourselves in those moments, I think, because if we start berating ourselves for feeling that way, we then will create that negative mindset, which is exactly what we're trying not to do. But by validating it and experiencing it, letting it go, understanding the triggers, understanding what we can do to prevent that making us feel quite so overwhelmed in the future, that's your positive mindset. It's already there. That idea that you are worthy of feeling these emotions, that you're worthy of having a bad day, that it doesn't mean that it's going to set back your entire work ethic, your whole process towards your dreams. It doesn't mean that it's going to bring everything back. It's going to make you more resilient and stronger for the future. So that's how the positive mindset actually comes into it and actually really, really makes that difference. because we are all going to have days where we are overwhelmed. We're all going to have days where we're stressed. We're all going to have days where we spend the whole morning shouting at our kids because they're just not following simple instructions, which was very much my morning of shouting at my kids constantly. And as I was walking back from the school run, I just had to sort of sit with myself and be like, no, yes, they are misbehaving and being really, really challenging, but do I have to let that affect me and affect my day? Do I have to take that on with me to affect my clients that day, to affect the jobs that I needed to do? Or can I just have a cup of tea and just breathe, accept that it is a challenging day and move forward? And you will get to that place. It's not easy. None of this is easy. If it was easy, there wouldn't be instructional videos on how to do it with there. But you need to be kinder to yourself. And instead of going, I can't be negative because then I am negative, think of it as, I can feel negative because that is how I'm feeling. Regardless of how I want to feel, that is how I'm feeling. But let's work our way out of it and work out what I can do to stop this impacting me in the future, or to help me deal with it better. And then you're staying in the positive mindset, and you don't need to worry. And you don't need to worry about whether or not you need to push it all down and berate yourself for feeling what you feel. And just feel validated in that, because it is absolutely fine. So that's really the answer that I gave to that client, and I hope that it's helped you. And I will speak to you guys all soon. Bye.